There are 6 essential elements that you should have as part of your Facebook ads if you are a coach, particularly in a saturated market, to really differentiate yourself from the competition and to get consistent clients coming in your door while cutting down your work hours. So, I'm Brian Czekanski. If this is the first time joining one of my lives, I focus on helping coaches accelerate their growth and impact with their clients while cutting their work hours in half by utilizing full confidence ads. So for more information, go to fullconfidenceads.com. It's a free program that walks you through, even if you haven't run Facebook ads before, walks you through soup to nuts how to build a profitable offer that really works from day one, not only in terms of what buttons to push, but how to write compliant Facebook ad copy that is going to get you consistent clients week after week after week. And I do it all via video. So you have the exact, you can go back to certain videos as you're creating your ads within Business Manager, know exactly what buttons to push, what that all means, so you don't feel scared or overwhelmed or hesitant about utilizing the power of Facebook ads to grow your coaching business. So again, fullconfidenceads.com. So let's walk you through kind of the 6 essential elements. So over the last few years, I've hired a wide variety of different coaches in various different industries, everything from personal trainers to career coaches to copywriting coaches to jujitsu more recently. I've hired singing coaches as well, just to give you a broad scope of what it is. So just in hiring these coaches, I certainly have a checklist in my mind that I need to kind of check off before I'm really confident in signing up and passing along, payment in doing that. But I also work with coaches every single day in terms of running Facebook ads and connecting with the right audience. And I know what levers that we have to include, not only within our Facebook ads, but within our landing page, our sales page, to really check the box, to really get in that buyer psychology into where we can get people off the fence. So they're no longer hesitant. They don't have any objections and they're ready to sign up right away, regardless of what your price is and regardless of how much competition you have. So I'm going to just walk you through those 6 essential elements that I include as part of, again, it can be, some parts of this could be in your actual Facebook ad, can be in your landing page or sales page along the way. But just know before they fill out an application or buy anything from you, you kind of have to check the boxes here to be in a place where they're ready to sign up, even before you get on a sales call or anything like that. Like, you shouldn't have to. Again, the decision should already be made in terms of what we're trying to put together, because you've already answered a lot of their questions. You've answered a lot of their hesitations in general. So what I'm going to do is just kind of share my screen real quickly right here. So I come up. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through step by step these 6 different things, and I'll make it a little bit more clear on what you have to include, not only within your Facebook ad. Again, you can have shorter Facebook ad copy if it makes sense, and include more of these things in your landing page or sales page to sell your group program, your mastermind, your one-to-one coaching, whatever it is, whatever your offering is. Or you can have longer Facebook ad copy, include some of these elements in that Facebook ad copy to generate that curiosity and really get people going to your sales page overall. So the first thing is really understanding like what your audience, what's the outcome that they want the most, and really using that and putting that into their own language. Because again, anytime I go to hire a coach, I really have that end outcome in mind. It's actually like going through the process of actually working with a coach is not altogether that exciting. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of progress that you have to make to get to that other side. So in your marketing, you have to really understand as you try and sell your coaching services that you're not actually selling your services, you're selling the outcome of what your coaching services are going to be able to deliver. So again, I just finished up some mindset coaching with a pair of coaches from Australia. And again, it was all, like what really hooked me in the first instance was he talked about, the one coach really talked about in their marketing, the outcome that I really wanted the most out of this mindset coaching. Like that end goal was kind of front and center for me. So that's really what caught my attention. Again, if you can't catch your audience's attention, then it's going to be really tough for you to check the rest of the boxes. So we really have to speak to what that dream life looks like, what that dream scenario looks like in terms of that outcome, and really putting it in the language that they're looking for. And again, I touched on this a few days ago in terms of how do you actually figure this out. It's kind of a research process that you can go through. Again, I'll link to the video, but just here's kind of a reminder, like how do you get into the head of your audience? I listed out 7 different areas that you can really get into the head of your audience. Not that you have to use all 7, but things like actually talking to your audience, going back to those happy clients that you have, getting testimonials and getting a better sense of what their story is, or just talking to your prospects on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, going to forums if it's relevant, going into Facebook groups where your prospects hang out, going into Amazon book reviews to see what top books they are reading to kind of solve the problem that you solve from a coaching perspective, doing Google searches. What are they typing in terms of Google keywords to do that? Looking at your competition. Your competition has done a lot of the research already in terms of finding out what language your audience uses. So use that as a starting point instead of starting from zero. And then again, getting back to kind of the Google search and what they're searching for on YouTube, go to keywords everywhere. It's very simple to, a tool that you can kind of find some of your competition, but also what is that, some of that information that they might be looking at right now. So again, I'll link to that video in terms of doing the research, but that's key number 1. If you don't really understand what outcome they want the most and using their language to kind of describe it, then you're not really going to catch their attention within your Facebook ad. You're not going to generate enough curiosity to get to the other side. So that's number 1, is really kind of thinking about, like, with the end in mind, like what is where are we trying to go? The number 2 is kind of like really understanding what their problem is. And this is a kind of a curious one because, again, they might not even realize what their true source of their problem is. So within your Facebook ad, something I talked about yesterday is you can really educate your audience in terms of, like, what is the core source of that problem. But again, kind of speaking to in their own language, kind of describing, like, what are they going through right now? What is that thing that they really either want to accelerate their progress through, or is it something that they're dealing with? So to give you an example, like, I hired a coach for my copywriting career. Like, when I first made that transition a little over 2 years ago, I wanted a coach that can kind of accelerate my progress and get me going to not only have clients, but have confidence that I could deliver results from my clients. So I've hired a series of coaches that have kind of accelerated my progress along the way. That's not to say that I had like a key issue. My key issue is just that I had imposter syndrome around going out and marketing to clients and not really feeling like I had enough marketing and copywriting knowledge. So to fill that gap, I hired these coaches along the way. But there was other coaches, like, again, I hired a coach for the knee pain that I was having to kind of rehab that a little bit. So that was more of a physical pain that I felt on a day after day basis in certain activities. So, really think about, like, what is your potential client going through right now? And how can you potentially describe their problem? What are those key moments? What are those key trigger events where their pain is at their highest, or their stress is at their highest, or whatever it is, and really take them there as much as possible. So you can start to drum up some of that emotion. Like, advertising is all about kind of tapping into those emotions. So how can we really think about those moments, tap into that emotion, really motivate them to take action and eventually hire you along the way? And this kind of fits into, again, like, understanding their problem kind of fits into kind of that next leg. And I'll tie it into here a little bit more, but not only understanding their problem, but really connecting it to the outcome. So everybody will kind of think about in their headline or in their Facebook ad, they'll talk about the outcome, they'll describe the problem. But what I see most often is people don't connect the dots between the two. So obviously you're talking about the outcome, they're talking about where they are right now. But the bridge between those two is what I kind of call a belief bridge. And that kind of, think about that as kind of like your marketing process. So like maybe your 3 or 4 step process that kind of gets them from where they are right now to that end outcome that they want the most, really providing that visibility and transparency in terms of, like, okay, that outcome that you want the most, it's absolutely possible because, the first thing that we're going to go through with you is we're going to teach you this, or we're going to work you through this. And that's going to get you to a mini milestone along the way that gets you closer to that outcome. And then stage 2 or step 2 is going to get you even further along. So really really breaking up, again, if you coach people over a 6 month period, how can we break up that 6 month period into little, like into 3 or 4 periods where we can really describe kind of those mini achievements along the way that give your clients visibility into how they're actually going to achieve that outcome at the end of it and how that's absolutely possible, rather than just throwing out empty promises and just hoping that they either get on a sales call with you or things like that. That's, kind of the number one thing that, particularly within the Facebook ads and things like that, that coaches really miss, is really connecting the dots between where your potential prospects are right now and what that outcome is that you're promising. How can you deliver a little bit more transparency in terms of what I call the belief bridge in getting there? So number three is, and this really ties into it as well, is really the expertise of you as the coach. Like, what can you put out there? What can you include in your sales page, but even in the Facebook ad, that gives your prospect confidence that you can actually deliver on that outcome that you talked about in terms of that unique formula that you have out there. And, there's so many things that you can do. You can talk about results of some of your clients. You can share some of your success stories and use that part of your as your Facebook ads along the way. But you really want to talk about, like, okay, why should somebody hire you as the coach versus all the other hundreds or thousands of other people that are out there, particularly within some of those more saturated markets. And you have to really think about, like, okay, what credibility have I built up over time that I can really share with my audience? It might be just kind of sharing a little bit more about your life experience, because again, a lot of coaches that I work with, they've kind of gone through and had the same problems that their audience did. They've had that transformation, and now they're coming back and providing a helping hand and developing their process and getting them that outcome that they're looking for along the way. So that kind of goes into that. Number four is really kind of that personal connection. Anytime somebody hires a coach, it's obviously a very personal experience, especially if you're working one-on-one or in a group program. People are not only hiring you for your expertise, but they want to really connect with you as a person. So again, if you're one of those that has been in your prospect's shoes before and you've gone through similar problems that they're going through, sharing a little bit more about your life story and how you kind of went through similar struggles kind of builds that connection point between, like, oh wow, this guy has already been to the mountaintop already. He's been through what I've been through, and that's why I'm really connecting with him, and really sharing some of those singular stories or multiple stories that help them, provide proof that you've been, where they've been before, and you understand kind of the feelings and emotions and frustrations that they have been through, and that you've kind of gone through that process along the way. And that kind of, again, feeds into what I would say in terms of how that can really feed into your belief bridge and kind of your unique formula, and kind of, like, how did you get to the other side? It was really in discovering the process that you came up with and what you're using with clients to actually get results along the way. And to kind of back up, everything that I'm saying here in terms of not only expertise, but also, giving people belief that you can actually solve their problem, get to the outcome, is like, what proof do you have? Like, how could you, like, again, this is where it's great to have video testimonials that I've talked about in prior videos. You should always be going out there and collecting the stories of all those people that you've been able to deliver results for. Your best clients, those people that have seen any type of results, want to collect those stories as much as possible and kind of share that with the rest of your audience as proof that, my process works. Again, it could be your specific story, can be your number, that first step into providing proof. Like, I've done it for my own life, so I can do it for you. And along with that, providing some other client testimonials, some client success stories. And again, if you can provide that via video where people can see and hear from people just like them, talking about, them going through problems and reaching the outcomes that they want the most, that provides, even more impetus for somebody to hire you as the coach. And then the last one is really kind of the value. So, like, thinking about, like, as you think about your pricing and putting people in the right frame of mind to buy from you. So this might be something that you bring up on the sales call, but it's important to kind of include somewhere in your sales page or landing page, even before they get on a call with you. How can we start to price anchor your fee, like in terms of not only the return on investment that they're going to get from hiring you, but what are some of those other options that they're considering? And again, think about the menu of options that they have in terms of other coaches or group programs or all the other things that they are thinking about. And this kind of, again, ties into that unique formula. Why is your formula better and more developed than all the other options that are out there? Why are those other options flawed? And why have you developed this formula that is even better than everything else, and gives them confidence that there's a return on investment there? Like, any money that I'm putting down right now, I'm going to get back tenfold by the time we finish up our coaching program or group program or whatever it is, and leave no doubt in their mind that this investment that they're giving you is going to change their life, and it's going to eliminate problems or accelerate their progress along the way. So these are kind of the 6 along the way. If you wanted to break out kind of that unique process as maybe number 7, you can do that. But I kind of tied it in with the expertise as you as a coach. But these are kind of the 6 things that you should always, anytime you're writing Facebook ads as a coach and thinking about the landing page and sales page, kind of the checking the box in terms of like, have I answered all 6 of these things? Have I put my prospect in the right frame of mind where they're comfortable and they're motivated and they're happy to pass along money to me to actually get the results that they're looking for? And it makes it just really easy. And it's something, again, like as I've hired a bunch of different coaches along the way, like these are the things, like even unconsciously, I'm thinking about in my own head before I'm ready to actually put down money. I want to make sure that I'm seeing these things, and I'm seeing testimonials. I'm hearing more about who this coach is and why do we have a personal connection, and why are they going to deliver on the outcome that they talk about, and do they understand the real problems that I'm going through, and can they describe it in the language that I'm looking for? So use this kind of as a cheat sheet as you go along, especially as you develop those Facebook ads, but also the landing pages along the way. It'll make it really helpful to ensure that you're getting more conversions, more consistent income, and in doing it that way. And if you need even more information that kind of really expands upon those 6 different things, and how, again, like how can you use success stories to write compliant Facebook ad copy? That's one of the things that I cover in fullconfidenceads.com. Again, a free program delivered all by video that kind of walks you through. Again, if you're running Facebook ads right now, it's going to show you ways that you can optimize and improve the results that you're getting right now. But also, if you haven't run Facebook ads at all, it's going to walk you through from soup to nuts how to get all that stuff done, what buttons to push, how to actually write your compliant ad copy, and even as you run ads, how to optimize and get even better results along the way. So hope that was helpful and that everybody is doing well. And I'll catch you on a future live, and hit that like button on whatever platform you're on. Let me know in the comments, how has Facebook ads been working for you as a coach, and kind of differentiating you above the competition that's out there.